Poirot, enough! You have kept us in suspense ever since we left Lausanne.
Forgive me, my friend. Detective Locke and I needed the time to put the last pieces of the puzzle in their proper places.
I'll fill in where I can, but this is Mr. Poirot's show.
I confess I can't help, but I feel a certain déjà vu.
You are correct, Doctor. We have been here before. However, without you, we wouldn't have been able to reach the true conclusion of this story. My friends, your attention, please. I hope you have finished your dessert. You have every right to think the solution to the murder of Ratchet is a closed book. You are wrong. I, Poirot, admit that I was wrong. There is a final chapter.
What in bloody hell?
What does he mean?
Perhaps if we are silent, Monsieur Poirot will explain.
Most of us naturally expect a journey by train to proceed in an orderly fashion from station to station. But this journey has gone off the rails. A comfortable journey, which should have been restful, turned out to be quite a challenge for my little gray cells. I beg your indulgence. I know it will be painful, but I must update you on the strange turn the Ratchet murder investigation has taken. I had two hypotheses, as you recall. A stranger boarded the train in Vinkovsky, killed Ratchet, and then exited the train unobserved. That was the first possibility. The second solution gave us 12 jurors who condemned Ratchet to death for the kidnapping and murder of Daisy Armstrong. My friend, Book, properly chose the first solution for the authorities. However, thanks to Dr. Constantine here, a 13th stab wound was discovered, throwing that solution into disarray. Moreover, the words of a witness called into question the chronology of the night of the murder upon which the first two solutions were based. Detective Locke?
Michael admitted to having been absent several times during the night. His absence therefore gave multiple opportunities for a 13th murderer to slip into Ratchet's room before the other 12 jurors lined up to stab him.
You are saying the man Ratchet was... when we...
Yes, you executed a man who was already dead. But there were other suspects that night.
Other suspects? Who?
They stand before you. Mr. Fauché, Mr. Maury, and Ms. Nielsen. And they all also had a hole in their stories about their movements that night. Mr. Poirot?
Most of you don't know it, but there was a second murder in Venice.
Mein Gott, another murder.
The victim was a man named Aziz Wadi, a banker in Geneva who was on the payroll of Ratchet. He looked after the money Ratchet obtained from the Armstrong ransom. Ratchet needed money and arranged to meet Mr. Wadi in Venice. One of these three knew about that money. Now, each of them had an alibi, of a sort. But if any of their alibis was a lie, that person had time to murder Monsieur Wadi, Monsieur Fauché, Mademoiselle Nielsen, and Monsieur Maury. One of you murdered Ratchet and Monsieur Wadi.
Are you kidding? I pour drinks for our guests. I don't murder them.
It's nonsense.
You are accusing me because of my knives?
But why would one of my employees kill Ratchet?
Eh, どっちだ？どうなってんだ？知り合いであった。 もあれか。こっちだ。
Think, Joanna.
あれ金か。金だろうな。でも金もっと逃げなかったからな。
The killer's motive for killing Ratchet was revenge, but not for Daisy's death. The motive for Aziz Wadi's murder was also revenge. Mr. Wadi was helping Ratchet.
Ratchet had an accomplice in the kidnapping named Noah. They kidnapped Daisy together. Ratchet stored the ransom money in a Swiss bank that protected anonymous clients. He forced Monsieur Wadi to watch over the money. Once enough time had passed, Ratchet felt it was safe to have Monsieur Wadi bring him cash whenever Ratchet needed it.
The serial numbers of the bills would still be in a file, but no one would be actively checking it.
Precisely. But Ratchet didn't just keep the ransom in his safety deposit box. There was something much worse. There was something much worse than Daisy's ransom money in that safety deposit box. During her investigation, Detective Locke found evidence proving that Ratchet was what is known as a trophy killer. He kept souvenirs of his crimes. We found trophies in the safety deposit box. There were others in a cabin Ratchet used in the Berkshire Mountains, including a beloved toy of little Daisy's.
If I'd have known that, I would have cut the bastard's head off.
I do not think that's the right answer.
ラチェット殺人の動機となれる2つの品の関連性。これがピーター、チアーズ乾杯。
This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth.
これか。
Think,
違うんだこ
Poirot,
れ。
that is not a good answer.
バレンティン、マイケル・クラーク。
I must admit I'm not right
かな
this time.
どれだ
I do not think that's the right answer. No, not good.
ティモ
This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth.
へ
I must admit I'm not.
真珠
No, not
革
good.
のブレスレットってことどういうこっちゃ
I'm right
頭教えてねえぞ
That happens to me. The bracelet found in the safety deposit box was also on Noah's wrist in a photograph. It's obvious Ratchet killed Noah. And therefore, at last, I can tell you with absolute certainty who the murderer of Ratchet and Monsieur Wadi is.
ああもうここだ
Mademoiselle Nielsen has the same bracelet as the one found in the safety deposit box in Geneva. A trophy from a victim of Ratchet. Noah.
Having a similar bracelet doesn't prove anything.
Yes, that might be true. If there were not an inscription on it.
Mr. Poirot, you're right. The bracelet looks similar to mine, but I have no idea what the marks on it mean. I just like the design.
The marks are not random, mademoiselle. These are special bracelets. They are called Morse code bracelets. Because, well, you know why. The marks are Morse code. Happily, I learned Morse when I was a young man doing my service for the Belgian army.
Frey. Freycha.
That was easy.
Freya.
On the bracelet found in Ratchet's safety deposit box was the name Freya in Morse code. Your first
名
name
前をモール
belonged
ス進行
to
に入
your
れて送った
father,
のか。
Noah Nielsen. Let's stop playing this little game, mademoiselle. What does yours say? Noah?
It says father. Ratchet. That bastard. He kept my father's bracelet as a trophy.
Thank you. I have to admit your timing for Ratchet's murder was perfect. Do you mind if I continue?
Would it matter? Go ahead. You've earned the right to crow.
I do not make bird sounds, mademoiselle. I take no pleasure in this. You drugged Ratchet's dessert to ensure he would be unconscious when you went to his room. You stole a knife from Monsieur Maury. If it was identified as the murder weapon, he would be accused. You knew Pierre Michel would leave the train for a smoke whenever it was stopped at a station. At Vinkovsky, you waited until he was on the station platform. Then, you carefully made your way along the first-class corridor to Ratchet's room. You entered Ratchet's room with the pass key, accessible to all employees in the crew quarters. You stabbed Ratchet at midnight.
But that knife, where is it?
Probably thrown out of Ratchet's window before the train left the station. A thorough search after the snow melts should turn it up.
My beautiful knife.
Then, you carefully returned to the crew quarters, replaced the passkey, and returned to your poker game. Et voilà. The affair was not so complicated in the end. But what made the crime seem more complex, well...
It was us.
12人の
Exactly. The 12 jurors who proceeded to carry out their far more complicated plan literally in the dark without realizing that the man was already dead.
Speaking only for myself, of course. But I believe we would have invited you to join us.
Ms. Nielsen, you killed Ratchet because he killed your father. Your motive is crystal clear. But why did you kill Aziz Wadi?
It's because of Aziz that my father died. My father knew Aziz was the only one with access to Ratchet's safe, so he convinced Aziz to steal the money from the safety deposit box. But Aziz was too afraid of Ratchet. Instead, he betrayed my father by reporting him to Ratchet. Obviously, Ratchet then murdered my father. Aziz was just as guilty of my father's death as Ratchet.
Ratchet was the worst of humanity. But Monsieur Wadi, if you knew his story...
My father is dead because of him.
I will not debate the point with you, mademoiselle. He had done nothing to justify his death. I do not see any extenuating circumstances that should allow you to escape justice. You will be arrested at the Gare de Lyon when we arrive in Paris.
Judge and jury are you, Monsieur Poirot. And you get away with it. It must be nice. But think of this. I know what you did. What you all did.
She's right. She could turn us all in.
Relax. Hector, is it? Your secret is safe with me. I'm not going to jail. Farewell, Poirot. Enjoy your victory.
Stop! No, Freya, don't jump. You're going to die.
I've made my choice. We'll let fate decide.
No! She jumped off the train. Even if she hit the water, considering the height, I doubt she survived. And with this tunnel, either way, she's gone, Poirot.
犯人が行ってしまったか。オリエント急行翌日ですね。
I still can't believe what happened. 13 people took revenge on the same person. This investigation is so incredible. It almost looks like a detective story.
It would surely be a bestseller. It is true that this case will remain as one of the most important investigations of my career.
My only regret will be that I couldn't bring Ratchet to justice, but I can finally close this chapter of my life.
Your determination paid off. You can be proud of yourself.
I think we'll be arriving in Paris soon.
If you will pardon me, Detective Locke, I have to settle a few details with Monsieur Bouc before we arrive.
Please, go ahead.
I still can't believe Freya was the killer. She never even cheated when we played poker.
She used too much sugar.
Nonsense! Her desserts were divine.
Unfortunately, her actions were not so divine.
There you are, my friend.
Bouc, I have a favor to ask.
Anything.
When we arrive in Paris, will you speak to the police? I would rather keep a low profile.
But why?
Bouc, my first solution was incorrect.
Nonsense. The nuttier the mystery became, the greater your brilliance.
Please.
Very well, if you insist.
I want to thank you, gentlemen, for your service. The cuisine. Under difficult conditions, you surpass the reputation of the Orient Express.
That is true. I look forward to seeing you again abroad, Monsieur Poirot. I promise, not all of our trips are this eventful.
Princess Dragomirov would like a word with you, Monsieur Poirot. It is important. She is waiting for you in her compartment.
When a princess summons me, how can I refuse? Ah, Mademoiselle Debenham et Captain Arbuthnot. Allow me to congratulate you on your upcoming nuptials.
I hope you won't be too disappointed if you're not invited.
Archie, really? Thanks to Mr. Poirot, there will actually be a wedding.
As you say, my darling. Sorry, old man, and thanks for everything. including finding my train ticket.
Count Andrigny, how is the Countess?
Much better now that it's all over. I misjudged you, Poirot.
And I you.
There is something else about my wife you should know. Why I am so overprotective.
She is pregnant.
You are quite the detective.
Actually, Dr. Constantine told me. She admitted as much when he was attending to her.
If it's a girl, we're going to name her Daisy. If it's a boy,
Hercule?
he'll be stuck with Rudolph. It's a family tradition.
I wish you and all of your family much happiness.
Thank you.
My daughter, my great friend, and I wanted to talk to you one last time. I speak on behalf of the entire Armstrong family, as well as those close to us. You have shown compassion. We know your reputation, and we understand that your choice was not easy for you. We are all the more grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations, my dear. You managed to say the word thank you, although he did manage to put us through quite a lot.
You have given us all closure and some peace of mind.
You should know that I regret nothing. If this Freya Nielsen person had not been involved, I would have done it again.
Someone told me the Stalinists were frightened of you. I believe them.
The country of my birth breeds its share of brutes and bullies, but also some of the greatest intellectual and artistic minds the world has ever known. I pray that one day we will again be remembered for that.
I share your hope, Princess.
And of course, with the real murderer of that man out there somewhere, we are no longer guilty of much. Correct?
Princess, don't push your luck too far. If you'll excuse me, I have some packing to do. Ladies?
戻りましょう。降りる準備です。
At the end of this investigation, I still have my doubts. Did I make the right choice with the 12 self-proclaimed jurors?
まあ、あとは本人たちの思い次第か。
Yes, it was the right thing to do. As for Mademoiselle Nielsen, what would I have done if she had not escaped?
まあ、出てくれ。
Is it justice to let the 12 go free but have Mademoiselle Nielsen arrested? A vast question indeed. Judges often take motive into consideration when deciding the sentence for a crime. You are not a judge. Your job is to establish the facts, which you have done. The case has been solved. Another already awaits you. It is the reason you are on this train. It is time. Time to move on.
will travel with us again, Monsieur Poirot.
皆さんお元気で。
Monsieur Poirot, I spoke with my associates. I convinced them to give you a deal on our new Firenze SUV. No need to thank me. It's the least I could do.
That is very generous, but no, I do not drive.
You don't? What? But it's electric. It's good for the planet.
I am good for the planet, as long as I don't
運
drive.
転しない方が優しい。確かに。
I don't understand. He refused.
いや、車使わない人は使わないからね。じゃあ捜査員がいるのか。
Monsieur, you can't pass.
脅してきません。はい。逃げ
You can never have too
逃げ
many
た。
of these.
二人は大丈夫か。
Poirot is a nasty man.
わらわひどい。ちょっと何を覚えさせてんの。
I wonder where Princess Dragomirov's bird can have heard that.
ちょっと、無人。
Have you lost something? May I help you?
Oh, Mr. Poirot, you have done so much already.
What is it you have lost?
My friends, we are traveling to Poland to help with children. We were to meet at an information booth. But where do I get information on how to
案
find
内
the
所までの案
information
内はどこ
booth?
にあるのかしら。
There is, I believe, an information booth just inside the main terminal.
Oh, thank you, sir. You are a great
アリ
detective.
スみたいな人。
And
言い
you,
回しの人だ
madam,
な。
are a good soul. I will miss this train.
お腹が減った。お腹が鳴っている。ジャーマンパリス。待つ。
News travels
ニュースにな
fast.
ってる。
Hey, Poirot. Say, have you seen a scruffy little guy in a green trench coat?
I cannot say I have. Why?
He's my next case.
Another case?
New
That was
target,
indeed fast.
The detective's gotta eat. You know what I mean.
I have some idea, yes.
Suspected embezzler. Traveling east. Been out on the Orient Express. Say, you wouldn't be interested in teaming up, would you? Some good money in it.
I have had enough of trains for a while, thank you.
Okay, suit yourself.
稼ぎたいためにやってるわけじゃないんだよ。
Mr. Poirot, Mr. McQueen here thinks he may know an attorney in the Berkshires who might need a gentleman's gentleman.
He's old school English. I think the clock stopped for him in 1934.
I hope it works out for you, Monsieur Masterman. What about you, Monsieur McQueen?
Well, back to law school for me, following my father's footsteps. We can take the train to St. Pancras, then the Piccadilly line to Heathrow and check out some flights.
Might as well. We're already packed.
I wish you both bonne chance.
Ah, Poirot. Mission accomplished. I have reported to the police that Freya Nielsen killed Hatchet and that she escaped. They're issuing an international arrest warrant. There's a canal that runs alongside the tracks where she jumped from the train. But they say there's little chance she survived. The police have questioned all of the passengers and crew, so for now, they are free to leave.
I gave them the results of my preliminary autopsy, and they have the report from the Venetian authorities. They were arguing about jurisdiction when I left.
Thank you, Doctor. You have been of inestimable help.
A fascinating case. I'm pleased I could assist you.
Mr. Poirot, it seems our paths part here. It was an honor and a pleasure to work with you.
And I am with you, Detective Locke. The case would have been impossible without your tenacity and dedication to finding the truth. You also proved to be an able con artist in Geneva.
You too. Thank you for everything. I'll never forget you.
And I shall always treasure our collaboration.
Well, that's that. I'm hungry. Let's go to the Wagon Rouge restaurant. They make an excellent leg of lamb.
But it's only 5:34 p.m. Is food all you really think about, my friend?
I'm the one inviting you. You've well deserved it.
ああ、ちょっとカクついてる。ああ、カクしてた。
I'm warning you, I'm not going to obtain for you a secret recipe this time.
Poirot, they make a chocolate mousse that is so creamy. It must have a secret ingredient in it.
The last recipe came from a murderer.
But it was sublime.
落ち。はい、無事に全部完結です。スピードアップしてこれは終われないのかな。ずっと行くのかな、こんな感じで。まあでもあれですね、オリエント急行殺人事件、まあ本編の方ちょっと忘れちゃってるんでどんな感じだったかっていうのもあるんですけど、まあところどころあるミニゲームはまあやりたい人は楽しくできるでしょうし、まああれ系が苦手な人はちょっと詰まっちゃうんで大変なところもあるかもしれないですけど、まあ自分は全編的にまあちょっと最後の方はもう整理しなきゃ分かんなかったところもあるんですけど、楽しめたんじゃないかなと。あ、ユニティでやってたんだ。その後のお話ですね。誰からの手紙って書いてあった？ロンドンフォアラさん、別れた時は挨拶の時間もなかった。
I didn't really have time to say goodbye when we parted. I thought I had beaten the greatest detective in the world. But you unmasked me. I still had my revenge, though. I even managed to help myself to a small amount of cash from Wadi's bag before you interrupted me in Venice. It will be enough to settle somewhere in a quiet little town where I will create delicacies for appreciative clients. You won't hear from me again, nor will Book get any more of my recipes. Oh, and one last thing. You may not think so, but I truly believe Ratchet and Wadi got their just desserts. Regards, F.
You, mademoiselle, are entirely too pleased with yourself. You give clues no one could follow, unless they are
居場所は分かってしまうよ。それがポワロだからね。はい、無事クリアしました。今回8時間半かかっちゃいましたが、前編入れるとまあだいたい14時間ぐらいかな。まあでも短いんじゃないですかね、今この昨今のゲームの長さで考えると。はい、まあこういう推理物を初めてこの辺プレイしてみたんですけど、悪くないかな思ってはいますが、まあちょっとね、配信者としては喋らない時間が多いのでなんともっていうところもあるかもしれないですが、まあもともと自分は推理物系が好きだったりしてたので、 ょっとやってみて、改めて本編また読んでみたいなと思いました。確認しながらね、実際どんなんだったっけっていうのを見ながら、実際のもう雑誌の方も読んでみたりできるといいかもしれないですね。まあそれをきっかけでまた推理物がね、読みたくなってきて、最近のものも読んでみたりとか、そういう機会になってくれればいいかなと私は思っております。まあ少しでも興味持っていただけた方はまた来ていただければと思います。ちょっと冒頭だけ音入ってないっていうのはちょっと申し訳ないかもしれないですけど、はい。まあそんなところですが、本日これでオリエント急行殺人事件完結です。ご視聴いただいて、ちょっとでも来ていただいた方ありがとうございました。ではまた別の機会、別のゲームでお会いしましょう。それじゃあまたね。
ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。この動画を見て良かったと少しでも思われた方はいいねしてもらえると嬉しいです。よければチャンネル登録もお願いします。X のフォローも気が向いたらしてくれてもいいんだからね。それじゃあまた次のプレイでお会いしましょう。じゃあねー。